Ethan Harper understood all too well how life could seize your happiness in an instant. His own world had crumbled 3 years earlier when his wife passed away, leaving him alone with their spirited 6-year-old daughter, Lily, and an overwhelming sea of bills that threatened to drown him. Each night, he worked tirelessly as a janitor at the towering Glasswell corporate plaza. It wasn't a glamorous existence, but it was enough to keep the lights flickering and Lily's lunchbox filled with love. As he swept the endless marble floors, polished the gleaming glass doors, and emptied bins stuffed with discarded hopes and shattered dreams, he moved with quiet grace, humming soft lullabies. In these moments, he envisioned Lily asleep in her little bed, snuggled up with her frayed teddy bear, peaceful and unaware of the struggles around them. Yet tonight felt different. The rain lashed against the streets, and the fierce flashes of lightning illuminated the dark corners of the skyscraper. Ethan was wrapping up his shift on the 32nd floor, the executive level, usually deserted at this hour, when a sound broke the stillness, a distant crash followed by a heart-wrenching sob. Curiosity piqued, he followed the sound to the corner office that had become the stuff of whispered legends. It was the office of Vivian Cross. Vivian Cross, a formidable force of nature, had been a woman who built empires before dawn and transformed failing companies into thriving successes with a mere signature. Her face adorned magazines, and her speeches inspired millions. But recently, her story had taken a tragic turn. Cross Industries falls amid scandal. CEO disappears after financial meltdown. Vivian Cross, from titan to tragedy. Ethan had never crossed paths with her until now. There she sat, huddled on the cold floor next to her desk, her designer dress drenched with rain, tears streaking her mascara, her composure shattered. A half-empty bottle of whiskey lay abandoned near her shoe. "Ma'am," he ventured softly, unsure if he should intrude on her sorrow. Startled, her gaze met his, eyes red and clouded with despair. "What are you doing here?" she asked, a fragmented echo of her former self. "I work here," he replied, gripping the mop handle tightly as if it could shield him from the whirlwind of emotions surrounding them. "Are you all right?" Her laughter was hollow, devoid of joy. "Do I look all right?" He hesitated, searching for the right words. "No. You seem like someone who has weathered better days." Her expression faltered, a flicker of vulnerability breaking through. "Better days. I used to believe I could buy those," she said, gesturing toward the blurred city skyline, lights merging with the rain-soaked night. "Now, I've lost everything, my company, my board, even the pen thou. What am I supposed to be without all of that?" Ethan knelt beside her, mindful of his words. "You're still you. You've just forgotten who that is for a little while." Her gaze softened, as if no one had taken the time to speak to her as a person in ages. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Just a janitor," he replied, a hint of pride in his voice. "A single dad trying to keep everything together while juggling life's storms." At that moment, something shifted in the air between them. She blinked, her eyes shimmering with the revelation that perhaps this weary man, with his calloused hands and humble shoes, possessed a richness of spirit that far surpassed the opulence of her marble halls. In that shared understanding, both found a glimmer of hope amidst the wreckage of their lives. "Once, I walked past people like you," she confessed, her voice tinged with regret. "I didn't even see you. I thought my achievements granted me power, but maybe they just blinded me." Ethan offered her a faint smile. "Maybe tonight is when you start to truly see again." He gently helped her to stand. She trembled, not just from the chill in the air but under the profound weight of her own life bearing down on her. He guided her to the staff break room, a tucked-away spot with a buzzing vending machine and a flickering overhead light. He handed her a paper cup of coffee, steaming and simple, yet somehow soothing. She gazed at it as if it held the key to a long-lost treasure. "I can't recall the last time someone gave me something expecting nothing in return." Ethan shrugged lightly. "Kindness doesn't come with strings attached." A flicker of a smile graced her lips then, fragile but genuine, like the tender calm that follows a fierce storm. They shared stories for hours, about heartbreak, about how success can sometimes feel like a prison, about Lily and her vibrant drawings adorning the fridge at home. As dawn crept over the skyline, Vivian seemed to lighten, as if some immense burden had melted away in the night. Before she stepped out, she paused and turned to him. "You mentioned being a single dad. What's your daughter's name?" "Lily," he said, pride blooming in his chest. "I'd love to meet her one day," she said softly, a hint of hope in her tone. "If that's all right with you." He nodded, warmth radiating through him. She would love that. And just like that, she was gone, slipping into a city that had once bowed before her, leaving behind the promise of new beginnings. Weeks drifted by, and Ethan assumed the encounter would become just a faded memory. Then, one bright morning, his supervisor summoned him into the office. To his surprise, a man in a tailored suit awaited him, cradling an envelope. It bore the embossed seal of the Cross Foundation. Inside, a letter unfolded with a heartfelt message. "Dear Mr. Harper, sometimes it is the most unexpected individuals who remind us of the beauty in our humanity. I am beginning anew, not as a CEO, but as a humble architect of something truly meaningful. I would like to extend to you an opportunity to be the head of facilities for my new community initiative. This position comes with a generous salary, flexible hours, and a scholarship fund for your daughter. Please see this not as an act of charity, but as an expression of my gratitude. You were the spark that reignited my vision. With sincere respect, Vivian Cross." For a long moment, Ethan lingered in silence, clutching the letter, warmth blossoming in his chest like a gentle sunrise. That afternoon, when he picked up Lily from school, he swept her into his arms, laughter mingled with joyful tears spilling over. "Daddy," she asked, her eyes wide with curiosity, "why are you so happy?" "Because," he replied, gaze turned skyward, "sometimes, helping someone rise back to their feet lifts you as well." In that magical moment, beneath the golden glow of the setting sun, the janitor and his daughter strolled home, two small souls who had unwittingly transformed the life of a once broken billionaire in ways they would never fully comprehend.